Welcome, Bat Boys and Bat Girls. We've got a fun show lined up for you today.
That is the voice of Alfred. At the moment, we're waiting for Robin to get out of the Bat Cave. And we're going to start because we gave Keith and Jerry the day off, and we're going to go ahead. There
was not enough Tresemme number 4 in the Bat Cave.
And your bat laces are a little out of alignment there.
Thank you. I'm Robin. These are Robin laces.
Oh, Robin.
He's not talking about my underwear. Because that would be creepy.
Not unusual, though.
Not unusual. Zing, zang, boom. Pop, bam. This is the Halloween edition of Real Talk with Keith Smith. Keith Smith and Jerry Miller and Judah Wickower have taken the day off. In place in their steed, Bruce Wayne. What's Robin's real name? I should know that. I'm Robin.
Depends which Robin you're talking about.
The Chris O'Donnell Robin.
Oh, man.
I don't think I've ever known it.
Gentlemen.
We just know you was Robin.
Batman, Alfred.
Yeah. To a good show.
Great show.
To Mike Bittrick. May he rest in peace.
Dick Grayson.
Who is it?
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. Look at Alfred with his Googling on the Bat Apple computer.
I don't think Alfred had to do that. Who knows, Chris?
Well, here we go. This is our
Should
third
this be over
annual.
Or under the chair?
On the back of the chair. We got to do the old cape in the back of the chair.
Alfred, can you come over here and adjust this accordingly, Alfred? Alfred, what happened over there?
Alfred has to do everything around here.
Alfred is.
Hold it. The back glasses are not staying on the.
I can't see anything.
On the bat mask.
A single thing. Alfred, last thing I'm going to request of you. Can you grab me over this, Alfred? I apologize, Alfred. I will never ask anything.
Robin's a bit of a PIA, isn't he?
No. It's a PIA. Prima donna?
PIA, no, a pain in the arse.
Oh, gotcha. Give the show a like and a share anywhere you guys are watching, guys. We're going to have some fun with Batman and Robin here on the Monday edition of Real Talk with Keith Smith. Keith Smith is not here. Jerry Miller is not here. Judah Wickower is not here. In their steed, in their place, in their substitute, Batman
and
Robin.
Stead.
Thank you,
But
Alfred.
Liza's here to keep her straight.
Everyone likes someone who corrects people when it comes to words, Alfred, over there. All right.
Okay, Robin.
We're going to have a lot of fun over here. All right, Alfred, we can rock and roll when you're ready.
So this is your opportunity to go ahead and ask Batman and Robin your real estate questions. Here's the challenge for Batman at the moment. Batman has a challenge of having his bat glasses on his bat face.
How do we get affordability in Gotham? That question has come up on
Already?
the feed. Wait, I can't see anything, so if you're counting to me, I'm screwed.
2, 1.
Good Monday morning, guys. My name is Robin, and this is Real Talk with Keith Smith. Keith Smith and Jerry Miller and Judah Wickower are out of the studio. And in the Bat Cave today are
taking a nap.
Cape Crusaders looking to fight crime in Gotham. Gotham's primary priority today may be affordability from a housing standpoint. It may be meager inventory levels, and it may be interest rates at all-time high. But Batman and Robin will, boom, bam, hiya, solve those problems today on the Monday edition of Real Talk with Keith Smith. You have a hard time with a rate of 8.5%, 8.6%? Batman's going to tell you how you're going to get a 3% rate today.
Okay, show over.
Studio camera, Alfred. Studio camera.
I think Robin is giving Batman a little bit more credit than what Batman is capable to do. Hello, everybody.
Batman can do anything. I literally cannot see anything.
I can't either, and if anybody wants Batman to look on some data, we're going to have to put our back glasses on.
Robin is wearing contacts right now, and his contacts literally have the visibility of a Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles. Is that you, Batman? They are you, Batman.
So
how did we get here, Batman?
Yeah, we got here by.
Where is the?
We're here probably because we didn't have enough therapy in our process.
That sounds like Batman's been talking to Robin's better half.
No, Batman has been talking to his therapist.
Batman.
We need to go ahead and do this.
Good Monday morning, Batman.
Good Monday. Look, guys, this is fun. This is the third time in a row that Batman and Robin has shown up around Halloween. We're going to give.
I think it's the 4th.
Pardon?
I think it's the 4th.
Is it the 4th?
I think it's the 4th as well.
No, really?
I'm seeing
Alfred has the data there, Keith.
2020,
Batman.
2021, and 2022. This is 2023.
Look at that, huh? Look at Alfred. Alfred keeping
us on our toes.
So
Thank
this
you,
is
Alfred.
number. Let's try this again. This is number 4.
It's this many.
It's this many.
This many.
I hate these gloves.
How does anyone fight crime with these gloves?
You can't.
I have the dexterity of
Slug.
who has
Slug.
who has limited dexterity? I have the dexterity of a
No,
slug.
he did it. It's a slug.
Of a butterfly,
Well, butterflies are cute. Well, butterflies, you know.
but has one thumb on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But you know what was the famous float like a butterfly, sting like a bee?
Muhammad Ali?
Cassius Clay. Yeah.
Yeah.
To do that. So look, today is
Good to
just
see
to have.
you too as well, Johnny Ornelas.
Today is just to have a little bit of fun, and Batman and Robin are filling in so Keith and Jerry and Judah can take off. So if you got any questions about the real estate market, give us
I
send it
love
to,
the lower thirds there, Alfred. That was nicely done. Kevin Yancey, who's watching in Winchester, says Robin looks like he has Aquaman's gloves on. Batman's glasses.
I
Just
can't
fell
see a
off.
darn
Oh my
thing.
gosh!
I don't. I
Where
can't,
are you, Batman?
I'm over here. I haven't figured out a way.
Batman,
What?
I hear your voice. I cannot see you.
Yeah.
Alfred, where are you?
So
Save us.
throw in if you want to know. You want to sometimes Keith and Jerry call it stump the trumps. Chumps like right now. Let's stump Batman and Robin. If you do anything, and I will tell you if the question is Batman, please lower the interest rates. I suggest you call Powell.
Batman can fight the Joker. He
We-
can fight the Penguin,
Yeah,
but he can't lower interest rates.
I can't lower interest rates. I can't do that. But you know, we'll share some information. Keith called Batman.
Oh,
And I just feel very schizophrenic at
what
the
did
moment.
Keith say? To
Well,
Batman?
what we were talking about, he wanted to share with people about all the open houses that were this last weekend, and
117.
it was 117.
Keith told
but,
Jerry.
But
Jerry
but,
told Robin.
But 60 to 70 of those were new construction. But there still was a substantial amount. But you know, Keith was telling Batman he had a great open house. He had 20 people come through on a home in Fleetwood over at Lake Monticello at the Acres.
Did Keith earn a contract?
No, we had 20 people come through, so that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about with the feedback that Keith was telling me about the conversation. It seems
Multiple viewers and listeners are asking to see Alfred's costume, including Holly Foster, the Queen of Henrico, and the Queen of Red Vines. Yes, Alfred is in costume.
It's not much, but I couldn't find my bow tie.
Can we show them if you would like to stand
well,
up?
no. So this is the 2023 version of
Yeah,
Alfred. Very laid back, very cool. It does look like you're about ready to go on a date, though.
Oh, you're going on a date over there. I like that.
I'm going to be fighting crime with Batman and Robin.
Can you show them? Very nicely done, Alfred. Very nicely done.
Good Lord.
Can you show them your costume? I'm seeing it on 3 different feeds here to see Robin's costume or Alfred's costume. Look at this. He's looking dapper.
Look at that, nice suit.
Looking sharp over there.
He even trimmed his mustache and his.
He
and his
trimmed the beard.
Look at that. So the feedback from the weekend was we had 20 people go through, which I thought was awesome, considering there were 70 open houses. But the kind of feedback that Keith was telling Batman is everybody seems to be waiting for something to happen. They
And
don't
what's
know
that something?
That's it. They don't know. And one of the great things about doing this is what I'm being told anyway, but one of the great things about doing open houses is you get to have conversations with people on the ground, one-on-one, right? And kind of, you know, we look at, Keith and Jerry look at data a lot. We, you know, the back computer always is playing on data. But when you sit down and actually have conversations with people who are trying to make moves and chive, so what's going on in their little heads, right? What's going on in their lives? And it just seems like everybody's waiting for something, but nobody could tell me or tell Keith what that something was.
What are they waiting for, Batman?
You know, I don't know. I think if I was to...
I don't see rates dropping anytime soon, Batman.
Yeah, I think what they're looking for, and this is echo something that Keith has said before, I just feel very schizophrenic in doing this, right?
Stick with the program, Batman.
Yeah, sorry about that. ADD, squirrel. It's funny.
Buyer.
It's funny. Buyer, seller.
Buyer.
It's funny how both Batman and Robin have Batman and Keith have the same issues.
All right. Well,
ADD.
it seems to work quite well for Batman.
So,
As Batman's got Catwoman.
Batman definitely has a Catwoman.
Yeah, he does. Meow, meow, purr.
Oh, I'm in
There's
trouble.
the things you can get away with on Halloween where you can't get away with any other time. We have grown-ass men wearing tights in front of people watching them.
Oh, you think I'm grown up?
I think you're growing up, at least.
So in any event, everybody seems to be waiting for it. So Keith asked a couple of very specific questions of folks. So what are you waiting for? Interest rates to change. Okay. If interest rates change a little bit, are you ready to commit? Yes, bam. So I think once interest rates start coming out from the stratosphere or where they are now, I'm watching this. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how Robin drinks. Look at that. I think you're going to see people come in, and I think, Batman's suggestion is if you're ready to buy, ready to sell, now's a great time to go ahead and do it. New construction is great. We had a great new construction weekend over here. They're offering great incentives. If you can do it, that's what Batman is recommending.
And Batman suggests that the new construction incentives may be off the table at close of business this year.
I think so. I think so there, Robin. I think what's happening with that is I think once they start going through, bam, inventory's done. Pop! Interest rates drop down. Poof goes the deals.
So of the open houses...
what are we doing? Do we have any idea what we're
There
doing?
were 117 open houses this
There
weekend.
was 117, which is a substantial number jump, but you got to put it in perspective. For whatever reason, the new construction folks put all their homes this weekend on there, but if you factor them out, it was roughly around mid-60s to 70s units, which again, a year ago we were only at 6. Regardless, it's a substantial jump. Folks out there in the real estate world, open houses are a great thing.
Robin's costume is a little...
You get...
Robin's...
Your Robin's costume's a little. You know what, Robin?
Robin
It kind of
has-
looks like. Did you have a rough night last night, Robin?
Cannot get anything... Robin has no dexterity when he's wearing his Robin gloves. There we go. Is that better? Is that better?
Over the shoulder.
Alfred!
I think over the shoulder. Would you like Batman to get up and help you?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, here we go.
Batman, studio camera. Studio camera. Whoa. Are you okay?
I think I'm okay.
People are saying this is an... Don't touch the hair. That's Tresemme number 4. People are saying this is an Abbott and Costello routine.
This is definitely.
Welcome Lynchburg, Northern Virginia.
Don't say
Richmond.
that. Whoever
Rich
said.
Short pump to the program. Catherine Lochter says, you guys are great staying in character. Thank you, Catherine Lochter. Can Batman sit in this chair? Let's see. Let's zoom in. Yes, he can. Well, we got to give props to Batman. He's lost some weight.
I have. And
Batman has is it a 6-pack over there, Batman? It looks like Batman has a 6-pack. Stand up for all your fans, Batman.
No.
Catwoman is asking you to stand up. Meow.
No. I can assure you Catwoman isn't doing that. Catwoman is.
What happened to my...
Oh!
He took my cape
I
off.
didn't take it. It got disconnected. Should
You
I
have
do it
to come
again?
back. Maybe Alfred can do it over there. Okay. Batman is a key component of the show. Are you going to studio camera over there? You know it has to hook in over there. Oh my goodness gracious. It's a cape, not a bib. Thank you, Kevin, for telling me that.
Dude, you need to go ahead and take your glasses off.
This is 4 years of wearing this. I can't see anything with this mascot. There's a man in tights touching me on the shoulder right now, and I'm a bit creeped out. Kevin Yancey says that's a 12-pack. Ay, mi madre carajo.
Okay, no cape.
No. I want to wear my cape. Give me my cape.
You want me to? Here,
Alfred,
I'll do it.
I can't see anything.
Okay, so who was the one that said Abbott and Costello?
I can't see. Show me on the doll where he touched you,
I
Alfred
think-
says.
I think.
Ay, carajo.
Oh.
I know it fell off. It's 4 years straight.
So
Alfred, thank you. Are you on studio camera?
So
Thank you, Alfred. You're the best, Alfred.
Batman has a PSA
Oh, what's the PSA?
to Keith Smith at Real Talk sponsors.
Okay.
Please don't leave.
Oh, please don't leave. Keith Smith, we need you. Where are you, Keith Smith?
No. We need the sponsors. Please.
We need you.
Don't leave. Please don't leave. But I think next year, Abbott and Costello being here would
that's genius.
Would actually, whoever said
or
that.
Click and Clack.
Click and Clack, the Tappet brothers?
Yeah.
I like that. But whoever
or
said
Will
that,
Smith and Chris Rock.
Larry, Curly, and Moe.
Larry, Curly, and Moe.
Oh, time out.
Alfred, 3-shot Alfred. He's eating peanuts over there. Alfred,
Yeah, Alfred.
do you have peanuts for everybody else, Alfred?
Alfred, what's up, dude?
Can you
You're
give us
supposed to
some
be
peanuts?
working.
I love peanuts.
So, no real estate questions?
Oh, we do have real estate
Yeah,
questions.
let's go ahead and get them. Look, advice Batman is saying to everybody out there in Gotham, if you can buy, now's the time to do it. Market is kind of a little in this flux moment at the thing. Everybody seems to be waiting, and the 20 people that talked to Keith kind of all echoed this, that everybody seems to be waiting, but nobody knows what they're waiting for. They're waiting for something to change. So if you're in the market to do that, we've actually did a couple of, Keith and Yona did a couple, actually Keith did a couple of sales this weekend.
It's got a potential investment property buyer on the horizon.
We potentially could have that, so thank you to Jerry for that. But so now's the time to do it. So if you got any questions to ask, go ahead, shoot out. God only knows if Robin can actually read the questions in the feed. I hope somebody doesn't need Batman to look at Paragon, because unless this computer is about 12 feet away from me,
I can't see anything. Robin
I can't
blind.
see.
How does Robin fight crime wearing this mask?
It's not.
This mask makes
it's about
Robin.
looking good.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope it looks okay.
Well, I can tell you right now, my first bead of sweat just went into my eye. So.
Well, you're ahead of me then. I'm about 19 beads of sweat over there. These lights, people don't realize the heights are so hot. Catherine Lochner, the new Hollymead Towns just opened. Sign out front says from the 400s, but the website says from the 300s. What's up with that?
Who knows? That might have. Batman had to take his gloves off. That might be, just a little bit of a printing error. I will tell you right now, the builders that have townhomes in the ground is where the motivation and where the deals are. We're again, you never want to jinx anything, but we're working on one this weekend over in Pleasant Green, and they're offering, I believe it's a $10,000.
That's significant.
A $10,000 incentive on it. So it's an awesome thing, and some of these move-in ready units, you might be able to negotiate even a better deal. But look, Batman knows this much, and we're going to look at some more numbers. Keith and Jerry look at some more numbers the end of this week.
Tim Carson's chiming in. Go ahead, Batman.
So hey Tim, the only thing that I know for sure is prices are going to continue to go up. Interest rates are probably going to stay high. They'll probably drop a little bit, but not that much.
Not that much.
Not that much.
In fact, a lot of speculation, the Fed in its meeting this week is not going to raise rates. It has another meeting coming up in December. Speculation is uncertainty about raising rates. One thing that we can say for certain is rates are going to stay stickier for longer, with some data coming in hotter than expected.
Yeah, but Robin...
And Tim, we'll get to your comment in a matter of moments.
Since 1972 until now, the average interest rate is about 7%. So, I think you're going to start seeing it come back. Batman can clearly tell anybody, if you're waiting for 3%, that's going to be some other century. It's not going to be
3% is not going to happen, viewers and listeners. Tim Carson, who just got 1417 Emmett Street under contract.
Well, way to go.
A commercial listing, which we will discuss on our 12:30 show, says this. Are you ready for this, Batman?
I think I am.
A week ago, I wrote an offer on 101 Vicar Court. Vicar? Is it Vicar or Vicar? Vicar Court. The offering $20,000 over listed, and there were 8 offers within 2 days that we did not get it because it was cash. We had a 20% down loan. There's still a lot of activity on the market.
Absolutely. So thank you for saying that. So, Batman will kind of repeat what Keith always talks about, right? there's 6 things: location, price, features, condition, timing, and who's on the other side. Matters. Location matters. Micro markets matter. And, you're going to see that back to normal, where one side of a street or a couple of streets over or blocks over will make a difference. But, to have 20 people come by and look at a home that had a...
What was the price point?
It was $599. Let's call it $600,000.
There you go.
To look at a home
In Lake Monticello.
in Lake Monticello.
Wow.
Tells me all you need to know about the market. But
This
Tim
question.
is 100% right. If you're priced right, that goes. He's just adding to what Keith is talking about. And Batman's trying to push here is that if you want to put a house on the market, and if you're in the right location, price right, features, condition, the timing is perfect right now, particularly if you've got somebody like Tim who's a pro on the other side. So the who matters, who's representing, who's on the buy side matters now more than ever, because this is where the pros show up in crime fighting or house hunting fighting.
Holly Foster,
Hey,
Kevin
Holly.
Yancey, Ricardo Cruz Duran, Tim Carson, JJ Bean,
Ricardo, I promise you when you come on, we won't make you dress up. and stand.
Jamie Turner, Joshua Tracy, Lisa Costello, Olivia Branch, Aaron King, Mr. DL, Johnny Ornalis, John Snow, Michael Blevins, Vanessa Parkhill, Tim Carson. If you were on set, what costume would you be in? What would you be
Ooh,
wearing right
Great
now?
question.
What would you be wearing? Who would your alter ego be? Michael Plecker says if there was enough inventory in order to stabilize or even lower the listing prices, buyers would buy with the 7.5% interest rates. Keith, your thoughts? Batman, your thoughts?
Yeah, so it's happening. We've been talking about this. We've been doing data, kind of wrapping up third quarter data. Keith and Jerry been wrapping up third quarter data for almost the whole month of October, and there's a slide that they did that talks about the price increase quarter over quarter over quarter, and of all the jurisdictions to include...
I cannot see anything. Go ahead. Go ahead, Batman. I'm sorry. I got distracted. I literally cannot see anything out of this thing.
So remember, Batman has the same ADD, attention deficit syndrome, as Keith. And this data was everything from the other side of the hill, where probably the Valley's best catcher ever came from.
Shenandoah Valley's finest backstop. Michael Plecker.
There you go. Well done.
I think that's what you were looking for.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome.
To
That's what Robin's
Buckingham.
here.
And the only jurisdiction that went down was Nelson County. And it was only just a skosh. The mouse over here, buddy. You're missing it.
This is a fantastic question. For Batman, which price points are softening or having difficulty moving? That's a great question right there from Leslie, who's watching in Keswick.
Yeah, so I don't think it's necessarily a price point
You
perspective.
don't think jumbo is softening?
I think it's a location item,
Oh,
right? So I think it's more about location. Tim just said, there was a city in Charlottesville City. Keith and Jerry showed a scale where we went from 405.
Canterbury Hills. Canterbury Hills.
Got
And the
it.
house needed everything upgraded.
Yeah. So
He said he'd come as a clown. Tim, you're funny. I love it.
does he require a costume for that?
He had an I think this is the one he's
Dun-dun-dun.
talking about in Canterbury Hills. He had an 800,000 plus listing that needed a complete gut. It was a brick Georgian in the Ivy area that needed a complete gut, and it moved.
But stop. It's Ivy.
Oh, yeah, it's Ivy.
Right? So location matters, right? That's the reason why we constantly, these two knuckleheads, Keith and Jerry, constantly talk about this thing: location, price, features, condition, timing, and who's on the other side matters. Location matters. It always has. It always has in this industry, and it matters. But there are buyers out there. The pool is just a little bit deeper. It takes me. If somebody wants me to look at data, I can't, because I can't even.
Batman's having a hard time.
Batman
moving his
can't get
hands.
Batman can't get his Batman glasses.
Dean Russell, welcome to the program. We love when you watch the program, my friend. Many realtors watching the program. We got Scott Thorpe, the commercial broker, on the show. Thank you kindly for watching the program. Justin Goodman, Taylor Sutton, Gina Downey, welcome to the broadcast. Brittany Gray of Stanley Martin. Andre Xavier. Seth Liskey. Seth, we got a powwow.
Shout
Welcome
out to
program.
Look, Brittany, thank you for chiming in on it. Batman does want to do another PSA.
Oh, vote. She's running for school board.
That's exactly right. Thank you for the reminder, Brittany. There are elections happening. Get out there, folks, and do your civic duty and vote. If you have voted already, thank you for doing it. If you haven't, on the 4th, that's next Tuesday, isn't it?
Yes,
Tuesday.
it is. Holy doo-doo. That's one of my favorite days of the year. Election day is Tuesday.
That is Batman's favorite day of the year. Get out there, vote. To quote the great, well, actually, it's not Neil Williams, it's Captain America. To quote Captain America,
Neil Williamson, we need you on set.
Elections matter. Contested elections matter. Get out there and vote. Go ahead and make a difference, because if you're worried about housing affordability, or if you're worried about density, one way or the other, whichever position you have on it, this is your opportunity to get out there and vote and support the candidate that best meets your vision for either Albemarle, Fovana, Nelson Green, Louisa. The city of Charlottesville is pretty much done already. That's a foregone conclusion.
City of Charlottesville has no contested elections, including school board is not contested on the school board.
So that is an opportunity. So please do if one thing happens out of the Batman and Robin show today is if we can get a couple of folks that were on the fence to vote, go out there and vote and make a difference. There's too many places in the world where you can't do that, so get your voice heard.
Winchester is chiming in via Mr. Yancey. He says this: 2 homes came in the market Friday. One, 1,600 square feet, move-in ready, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, quarter-acre lot, $349,000.
New construction?
The second, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, needs some updating, 0.75, $189,000. Quite the delta.
Yeah, so we can. Again, Batman can't read his numbers, so he's going to go from memory. But if you take a look at the difference between new construction and existing, the delta's pretty wide. It's the reason why people are going. They weren't impressed.
They were
not impressed.
They were not impressed.
They didn't even turn around. We had people walk through the studio bubble, and nobody was impressed.
That was the green room
with Batman and Robin. That's part of the reason why new construction is moving so fast and at the price point it is. It's very similar to the client that Keith was helping on Saturday, right?
Oh.
They had a certain price point that they wanted to stay in. There's great opportunities. They knew they were going to be in a multifamily townhome situation. A little shout out to Dan Pettit.
Mustache Dan Pettit, we love you.
To go ahead and do that. And even though they were paying a little bit more money, they've got brand new home. They've got warranties on structural, refrigerators, so forth and so on. A little bit to your left, a little bit to your left, a little bit to your left. That's your right. There you go, right there, buddy. So this is an opportunity to go out and get some new homes, new construction homes.
Batman's got a lot of props coming in. This is coming in from Grayson. Can Batman stand up, or that yield the police arriving?
It would yield to police. I think we're going to do it.
I think we need it. Hold on. Alfred needs to frame that correctly. Alfred, you have it framed.
I'll put you on.
Go ahead and stand
I'm
up.
ready to go.
Man, you're looking.
It's the belt. I got the belt.
Is it svelte? What's the word? Svelte?
Svelte? No, well, that's riding.
Alfred, can you help me with that?
So, speaking of
belt.
When you're lean.
Yeah, svelte.
Svelte. You're looking svelte.
And which language would that be?
That's called English, Batman.
Well, Batman speaks Brooklyn, so I have no idea if
that is English, Batman.
Is that? I don't think it is. It's the same language. But
is that not English?
Another. I'm just talking. So another shout out. Keith is riding on the 18th and 19th, 222 miles to help raise awareness for veteran suicides. We lose 22 veterans a day. I threw out.
You raised some money, or Keith raised some money.
We raised
$1,000.
Keith raised over $1,000.
Well done, Keith.
In 2 days. And of course, the people that are sponsoring it sent Keith an email and go, "Hey, would you mind upping that to 2,000?"
You're like, we did all right.
We did all right. In
Yeah.
2 days, we got it. So Keith was talking to Catwoman, a.k.a. Yona, this morning.
Meow.
And she goes, "Are you ready?" So
Ready for what?
ready to? I'm going to do 112 miles. I'm going to do 110 miles in one day and 112 miles in the second day. So, Keith is going to do it. Batman is going to be busy out fighting crime.
Will you be doing it in your bat costume? Well, Batman. No, this is Keith. This is not Batman.
No, but I do wear spandex.
Oh, could you? You could wear the. Keith could wear the cape.
I'm not. No.
How come?
No. Have you ever ridden on a bike for over 100 miles?
I have not.
No.
Batman has, huh?
Keith has.
This is a fantastic.
Batman likes the bats, the fancy bat cycles and the bat boats and
Fantastic question from Jennifer. Put in perspective how you have to sell your home to buy a home in this market and how that is done. A lot of people asking that question.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So back to Tim Carson's scenario, right? He was in the right location, right? It's all ivy. The ability to go ahead and be a little creative and negotiate with the seller from a buyer's perspective pretty much goes out the window if you're in the right location. And this is why Batman always recommends hiring a trusted advisor who knows the market, knows the locations, knows what's going to move forward or back.
Comments. Keep going.
Coming. But anyway, so if it's not, if it's in a location, it's a little sticky, quote unquote, on days. So instead of selling in seconds, it's a few days on the market, and each location has a little bit more. There's an opportunity to negotiate with the seller and say, look, I got a client who needs to sell. Keith has a client that has to sell their home. The last person that showed up at the open house was exactly that. They have a home to sell in the other side of the hill. Believe it or not, it's going the other way, which is odd.
That is odd.
They're going, well, it's not.
That's different. It's unique.
Well,
that's a better word.
It's a unique situation because when Keith was asking the client or asking the person walking through it, the W questions, who, what, when, where, and why, right? Turns out that they're trying to get closer to 13 grandkids that are on this side of the hill instead of that side of the hill. So they're retiree, yada, yada, yada. So you go ahead and do that. But look, it depends. Reach out. If you're in the market to buy, reach out to your trusted advisor. If you find something that's a little sticky and it meets all your needs, is in the right location, there's an opportunity today to negotiate. But this is Batman's advice. As soon as that darn interest rate starts going down, it doesn't have to hit 5.5. It doesn't have to hit 6. As soon as it starts going down, I can tell you the buyers are going to flood the market. If any indication of these 20 folks that are out there, every single one of them was waiting for some sort of movement, some sort of magic signal, some bat signal that the interest rates are moving.
The follow-up question from her is this. If interest rates move down, won't that mean we have more buyers for our home, though?
That's what he said. I just answered that. Yes, thank you for asking that question.
That's what he said.
Yeah, so you will end up having more buyers. But
also more competition on the move up.
But that's it. That's exactly right. So if they are looking to sell and buy, now if they're looking to sell but move out of state or whatever, if their life circumstances are showing that they need to, for other reasons, right? So, but if you're looking like this retired couple to sell on the other side of the hill and buy on this side of the hill, now's really the right time to do it. Now, so if we were to get an offer to negotiate that with the contingency on selling, as long as all the other issues are pretty reasonable, that's a pretty good offer to consider for this home at Lake Monticello. I think once the interest rates drop, that opportunity goes away.
Multiple people say that made perfect sense, Batman. Multiple people are saying, when does he expect rates to drop? I don't want to ask for Batman, but that's more of a mortgage broker's question.
No, that's if anybody.
No one knows.
Yeah. I'm stuttering. Batman's stuttering.
I mean, no one knows.
Nobody knows.
We've seen so many people make that prediction.
Right. We've been through this drill before. The experts said a year and a half ago we would never see anything north of 4. Well, we're double that. right?
Yeah.
All right. So look, I know this much. What goes up comes down. What went down comes up. So when you're at 3%, to expect it to stay at 3% forever was an unrealistic expectation. We're at 8, approaching 9%, and I think we're going to probably get closer to 9 before the year's over, or Batman thinks that it's going to be over. The point is, once that, because there's a lot of smart people that know whatever comes up comes down. Once that number starts ticking down a little bit, buyers are going to come flooding into the market. And there's just not enough inventory, and prices are going to continue to accelerate. And I'll just keep on, Batman's going to keep on saying this. If you're in the market to buy and you're able to buy, you cannot think of a better time to buy a home than right now.
Batman
you're in a
dropped-
position.
Batman-
Unless you're in Ivy, then you're competing.
Follow-up question to that. Put in perspective why Ivy's so hot.
Well, because Ivy is Ivy, right? Ivy has no more, there's no more, they're not making more of Ivy, right? Ivy's in a great location, close to Boar's Head, right? Close to the UVA, close to 250 bypass, 29.
The interstate,
easy in,
Farmington,
easy out.
Greencroft,
It's
city.
It's Ivy, right? Ivy is always
Great
been-
schools.
Great schools. Ivy is, and I'll bet you if you talk to Tim, I'll bet you that buyer more than likely was a boomer.
Whoa, I don't know about this one. I know this house fairly well.
Yeah.
Tim Carson was the buyer of the fixer-upper, the brick Georgian that needed a significant remodeling. It was 800 plus, a boomer, or was it a family willing to put into the work that saw the potential?
So Batman's.
I saw a lot of potential with that house.
Yeah. So I don't think it's an investment, but it could.
No, I saw a lot of potential with that house.
I got it. Yeah. It could be that it is a family, but typically the Ivy area, you see a lot of folks that went to UVA came back. Keith
He said 2 builders fought over it. It had an extra lot.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's a little.
RPR was 1.3 million listed. RPR was 1.3 million. Listed was 899,000.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
for those who do not know what RPR is an automated valuation system that NAR uses, or that we use, or real estate agents use, that is basically a desktop. I don't want to call it an appraisal because that's offending our dear friend Woody Fincham, but it's a desktop valuation based on all the public data, and it's updated constantly. So I didn't know it had an extra lot, so there you go. That's a super builder put on their cape and buy it, and they're going to put a house on lot B and renovate lot A. It's a great opportunity.
He said the listed price pulled up escalation sale over list price.
Yeah.
Eddie Moreno, welcome to the program.
That's-
One starter.
so-
You have a boatload of realtors watching.
Yeah, so back to that. Tim did it right. It's in the right location. He priced it absolutely right.
Gary Palmer, hello.
It has the right features, right, which is an extra lot. The condition is a little questionable, but the price and the location offset that. The timing is effing perfect, right? Oh, did Batman use an effing word?
Oh, Michael Buchensky is chiming in. Coach B. Coach B has something for you. And for the realtors watching, Gary Palmer, I have 6 different real estate firms watching the program right now.
You might
Michael Buchensky at First Heritage Mortgage.
Yeah.
And we did a toast to your colleague, Mike Bittrick, this morning, Coach B. Michael Buchensky says this: buckle up, Buttercup. There is nothing indicating interest rates will drop anytime soon. I bet, and he's a mortgage broker, rates stay in the 7 to lower 8 for most of 2024.
And I don't disagree with that. If you read all the experts, they're saying that. They're flip-flopping their whole thing. All I'm saying is, if it starts going down, the vibe that Batman has out there is people are waiting on something. They don't quite know what that something is. And, generally, when the market is like that, that's where there's opportunities for people that are willing to jump in and go ahead and do this. Because the reality of it is the prices are going to increase percentages more. It's not going to be double digit. It'll probably be low to, 3 to, I've been preaching, Keith's been preaching this forever, 3 to 6%, 3 to 6%. It's kind of the average. That's kind of what this is going to shake out at. on it.
Quinn
But-
Beckham and Nikki Chambliss, welcome to the program. This question right here has come in the feed, and Mike Buchenski, maybe you can answer this question. This is from a different Facebook page, Coach B, you are watching upon. Will we see a 9% interest rate before we see a 6% interest rate? For Coach B, Sarah Hill Buchenski, welcome to the program. Real Estate 3, welcome to the program. Keller Williams, welcome to the program. Nest Realty, welcome to the program. We have Long and Foster watching the program. Mortgage brokers from 3 different firms, 4 real estate investors watching the program, including the fabulous Seth Liskey. Scott Thorpe, welcome to the program. Show's on fire. Coach B says $5 trillion into the economy. A lot of that has not hit the market yet, although we think it has. Inflation will come under control, but we will not see rate movement lower for a very long time.
I don't disagree with that. So what'll happen is people look. This is a timing thing, right? Number 5, timing, right? Timing is everything. You know, we're at the traditional. I think the traditional slow season or the traditional winter season kind of kicked in a little bit early. You know, I think that's what you're seeing going on here. But, you know, Mike is right. Mike, the point that Batman's trying to make.
Coach B.
I think we're going to see 9, definitively see 9, long before we see 6.
Coach B, that's the question for you. Multiple people are asking, will we see 9% on a 30 fix with good credit before we see 6% on a
Absolutely.
30-year fix with good credit? Also, more questions are coming in faster than Robin can keep up, probably because he's wearing Rubbermaid gloves.
Yeah.
And Robin cannot fight crime with this. The only thing he might be able to do is clean some plates.
Or the toilet.
This is literally impacting my dexterity. Michael Buchenski says 9% is very, very likely.
Batman is telling Robin it's okay to take the gloves off because Batman took his gloves off.
Buchenski says 9% is very, very likely. How soon, Buchenski?
Yeah, and you know, again.
Also, this question for Buchenski's come in from a realtor that's looking to remain anonymous. How are his leads looking? His pre-applications?
Oh, it's the lowest it's been in. I don't know about
his pre-applications and pre-qualifications are an indicator of what's to come, what's coming across this man's desk.
Yeah, and I can tell you since sales are percented like 20-30% down, and Keith is working on a month over month volume just to take a look at how the percentages graphs look on sales. But at the end of the day, Keith read an article the other day that I think it's like a 30-year, I'm not having problems with that, 30 some odd year low of that. Look, it's pretty simple. If Keith isn't writing contracts, the mortgage people aren't doing things. Plus, you got this third of the sales at the moment are cash, which Mike will never see, right? You know, which just he'll never see.
He says he's got 8.5, north of 8.5 right now.
Yeah, sure. So a question for Coach there is, are you guys offering any buy downs?
Buy downs, Coach B.
Is that making a reoccurrence into the market?
Coach B, you're also getting the question here about new construction. What's movement in new construction right now, Coach B? Also, what's the movement on home equity lines of credit, Coach B? Multiple people asking Coach B questions as we speak.
There we go. So I can tell you the new construction is increased, but I think a better question for the real estate agents out there, and we'll probably be able to look at some of this data probably the end of the fourth quarter. I'll bet you're going to start seeing down payments increase. In other words, it was when it was free money, because let's face it, 3% was free money. When it was free money, why would you use your cash, right? You would go ahead and do 95, 97% loans. I'll bet you when you start taking a look at the cash down payment, because that offsets your expense. This client that we're helping on Saturday, that's what they're doing. They're bringing more cash to the table to go ahead and adjust the loan price based upon the mortgage rate. So guess what most people try to do? They want to keep their monthly payment at some number that works for them, right? And they start adjusting cash and so forth and so on in it.
Comments coming in so fast. Kevin Yancey is highlighting the bet he made with Scott Morris last year where he lost a bottle of bourbon, and he said he was 12 months off on his bottle of bourbon bet. 12 months, my friend, is a pretty long period of time. It's
a long period of time, but you know, it's interesting. Keith's been doing this for a long time, and he shared this with Batman. You know, interest rates were always kind of stable, right? They were always in this 6-7% range, somewhere between the upper 5s and the upper 7s, as long as I can remember. Then we had this anomaly that never really happened before, and these rates dropping down. And Keith said this before, and Batman may have said this in last year's show, or even the show before that. Don't get used to these 3% because they're not normal. Look, inventory. We've got lock-in. No more builders. We're not building enough to get ourselves out of that.
Coach B says this: if you do not have a strong relationship with a home builder, then it's going to be an absolute struggle to do new construction.
He's 100% right.
Michael Plecker says, Michael Buchensky, this is a question from Plecker to B. How much for a 5-1 arm with a 2-1 buy down? Buchensky says 3-2-1 buy downs are a solid program to look at, but keep in mind the buyer cannot pay for these. 100% of the buy down cost must be paid by the seller, so make sure to take this into consideration when making offers or setting up listings. Logan Wells Kalelo, hello. Ron Gans, hello. Multiple media outlets watching the program. The show is literally sizzling right now.
So let's talk about a 3-2-1 buy now. Thanks for bringing it up, Coach B. So what that means is for the first year, your interest rate is three points down. Second year, 2 points down. Third year, 1 point down. Year number 4, and Coach B, correct me if I'm wrong. Coach B, you
need to get involved with the program here. It will drive business to your book.
The year number 4, it goes back. So if you start at 8.5, right, you're 3 points down on year 1. 2, so forth. So the cost, though, so Coach B is 100% right, the cost has to be borne by the seller. So if you're in a situation where you got multiple offers and so forth and so on, the likelihood of that happening is pretty minimal. So again, if something's a little bit sticky, right now is a great opportunity to do that. You know, we're now talking about homes that have been on the market for 2 weeks to be, oh my God, what's wrong with it? You know, that's not a lot of time. That's really not a lot of time from a historical context. But those homes, you might be able to negotiate and say, okay, I'll pay you X dollars. Either you include this cost for a 3-2-1 buy down, and Coach B, tell me what that cost is, and we can talk about that a little bit more. Or you can increase the sales price to go ahead and do that. But that's a great opportunity. You know, just think about 3 points down on an 8.5 loan. That's a substantial savings per month that you get to keep. And the hope is within a series of 3 years, the interest rate's kind of lower enough that you can refi it. It's a great effing tool. But Batman is dropping effings a couple of times.
Buchensky says, can I call in to answer these questions? Oh, we should just get you in person. We need to get you in person.
Well, I think he's talking about right now.
Bring your whistle and referee what's going on here, Coach B.
You're always welcome to sit here and do that.
He says, I can't type this fast. Yeah. Questions are coming in for Coach B. This one's coming in from a different page right now. And this question, I'm going to mess up your last name. I apologize if I do. I'm going to call
Coach B, for hanging
Laura M. This is for Laura M. for Coach B. Laura M. is watching in Crozet. Does he expect rates to surpass 10% anytime soon? Laura M. also says we're considering putting our home on the market for sale, but we obviously have to sell our house before we could buy something else, but we've outgrown our home. Kevin, the Bear, says 2008 and 2009 creative financing all over again. Multiple agents from multiple firms watching the program.
So let's tackle that in a little bit of piece. Batman wants to tack that up. So look, right now, if you're looking to sell, and Batman has said this a couple of times, this is depending on where you want to go, and I would suggest you call a trusted advisor, and you can give Keith a phone call, and he'll be more than happy to chat with you about this off air and offline. But depending on where you want to go, this may be the right opportunity to go ahead and sell and negotiate a rent back or whatever. It's always a great opportunity to take a look at it. Look, if you're ready to do it, what's the worst thing that could happen if either you're not going to find a buyer that you want or agree to your terms, and you can take the home off the market. As far as any reference, and Kevin, Batman.
Nick Ward, welcome to the program. He writes real estate news. He's watching the show. Chad Wood, Jason Howard, Mr. DL, Jamie Turner, the investor, Joshua Tracy, jump in here. Bellamy Brown, jump in here. Dean Russell, jump in here. Justin Goodman, the entrepreneur. Taylor Sutton, jump in here. Andre Xavier, Steph Liskey, where's the market going? Fuego, fuego, fuego.
So that's Kevin, love you to death, brother. But to refer this back to 2008 and 9, it's just this 3-2-1 buy down is not a kind of like these shady things that were happening back then. It's actually paid for. So what happens is the seller prepays the interest, right? So that's the trick. That's a negotiating skill. And Jerry, Jerry. Sorry.
My name is Robin.
Apologize.
More questions coming in.
Robin, what's the number one skill real estate?
Negotiating.
Negotiating.
Brian says this for Batman. Why aren't the builders building more homes to solve this inventory crunch? No one is building now.
Because they can't. Unfortunately, the number one reason is it takes too long to rezone a project and get it built. Back to Kevin's comment, the probably largest problem or issue or item that changed from 2008 to now is so many people got out of the industry. Keith got out of the industry, right? The small to medium builder got out of the business. Right now, in order to do this, you have to have enough cash flow, enough ability to stay in the game for years. There's a project in Fulvana County, right? Took 6 years just to get it rezoned and site plan approved before it starts going vertical. Keith and Yona had a very hard, went through the time of great unpleasantness because the market changed. And the time that it started in 2003 and 2006 or 7, when this project got approved, the market popped. So that's the reason. It takes too long to get it approved through the system. The players that do it are very few and far between. You got to have a ton of cash to do it, and that's the problem. You're not gonna see it.
This question's come in for Coach B. Coach B, you're on fire right now. This one's
sorry about this, Coach.
Coach, I think he likes it. Spencer is throwing this to Coach B. Are home equity lines of credit still popping right now, or are the rates pushing people out of doing improvements to their house?
Yeah, so I think it could be. That's a great Coach B question or a loan officer question. Look, the other thing that's a possibility here is homes now have so much equity in it. They could potentially start taking some of that equity out and use it for other things. Could be to renovate their home, or it could be, and Coach B can tell me if this is legit or not, but they can use it to help maybe buy something else or whatever. But there's a ton of equity. So that's the one component that we're not talking about is the
I was in front of, and I won't say which one, I was in front of a real estate firm recently, and they were talking about how to leverage equity in personal houses to buy other houses as a approach to move in this market.
So back to the things why the inventory is going to stay low. People are staying in their homes 9 years versus 6 years.
6 and 7
right?
years prior.
Right, and I think you're going to see that 9 climb. So we're not building enough houses. People are staying in their houses long. You've got this lock-in effect, which is actually is hurting people.
I think you should rephrase that.
It is hurting people.
The lock-in effect is not hurting people.
It is hurting people.
It's hurting the market from an inventory standpoint, but folks that have 2 and 3 and 4% interest rates are doing jumping jacks of joy right now.
Well, they're not. And
depends on who you ask.
Well, correct. And so the 80-something% of the people have to move from life changes. And if they're that's the reason they use the term lock-in effect.
So, I mean, you would rather have a low interest rate if you have to move than a high interest rate if you have to move.
But if they have,
they're still paying less money every month.
But if they have to move right now because they have an interest rate of 3% in 2020 or 2021, whatever year it was, and they have to move. Right?
If I have to move, I would rather still have a 3% interest rate than a 9% interest rate if I have to move.
Well, you're going to have a 9% interest rate when you go buy the new house.
But you currently don't, which allows you to save some money.
Well, the real issue is not the interest rate. The real issue is the equity that you get to bring to the table. And this is what happens with buyers that instead of doing 5% or 7%, they're putting 30 or 40% down because they're ending up with a tremendous amount of equity. Back to the timing question, that's where the skill comes in, is the time, the sell of house A and the buying of house B, so you can use the capital from A to go ahead and B.
The comments are coming in so fast right now. So fast. Matthew, I'm going to get to your comment here in a matter of moment. Matthew is saying multiple media outlets are talking about the affordability tied to renting versus the affordability tied to buying now. Can Batman or Coach B speak to that? Before I get to that comment, Coach B has this comment. No way to predict a 10% rate currently, but you have to consider what has happened in our economy. The Fed issues trillions of printed money. That caused massive inflation. The Fed raised rates to combat this, but the economy is still running hot, so there is no need to cut rates. With each good economic report, rates will get worse. They will come down eventually, but not likely in the next 12 months. Buy the house now with the higher rate and hope you can refinance later or get comfortable being a long-term renter.
Yeah, but so two things into that. So you know what? The only people that win in renting is your landlord. That's at the end of the day, that's what happens. You're not building any equity. You're not building any ownership. And as far as, buying now, Coach B is 100% right. Nobody's going to predict the interest rates. Keith bought at 18%, right? Just refinance it. It will come down at some point. But we talked about this, or Keith and Jerry talked about this when the inflation started jumping. What was the number one way to combat inflation?
Fix your overhead.
Fix your overhead. Get a 30-year loan, even if it's at 8 or whatever it ends up with, at least you're at fixed. If you're selling, you're blessed. You got equity. I can't remember the percentage number, but there was a huge percentage of people that have over 20%, over 50% equity in their homes right now. Utilize that equity to the purchase of your next home. Do the math. Lower the loan amount down a little bit if you want to do that. Or you hire somebody like the Erpies and go ahead and put some of that money and let it make a little bit of money for you.
Michael Plecker says, Kevin Yancey, this is from Michael Plecker. It's a different scenario than 2008. Watch the movie The Big Short to understand more about the housing crash in 2008. It wasn't because people were using 3-2-1 buy downs. Michael Buchensky, the mortgage broker, says, or you can rent in a new area right now and then rent your current home, leaving until rates come down.
Coach B, great thing.
He says rent your current home and then rent a new home.
So we have 3 sellers doing exactly that. They've sold their homes, cashed out with a substantial amount of cash. They're renting. I
think he's saying rent your current home.
They sold it, so they cashed out, right? Because they needed the cash to buy, right? That's right. Robin's having problems with his
got a latex and spandex wedgie right now. Robin is so
Well, there's a mental picture Batman didn't want to have. But look, in that case, that's fine, assuming you've got the capital to go ahead and buy. But these 3 clients that we have that sold, that Keith and Yona have that sold, went ahead, sold, put a substantial amount of money in the bank. They're renting. Now, it's a pain in the butt because you got to move twice. You got to move twice, and
who do we have over here? Is this Catwoman's daughter and Catwoman's niece over here? Is your daughter going to be terrified right now?
Probably.
Hello.
That's not Hot Dad, this is Batman.
This is Batman, studio camera. Are you coming on set? I hope you are.
Yes.
That is fantastic. Good to see you. We have a surprise guest that Batman needs to introduce as the studio camera is moving. Batman, so you don't come across as a sketchy man, please introduce what is happening right here.
Oh, yeah. So our youngest granddaughter, Keith's youngest granddaughter and daughter showed up.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm glad you came. It's good to see you. I can't see anything. If you see me doing this, yeah. You came from Richmond.
Ravenna. Hello, gorgeous.
Ravenna
Hello,
has so much bitter since the last time she was here. She's growing like a weed.
She's growing so quickly.
So quickly.
I thought she would freak out. Really?
Oh, she's so chill.
Gorgeous. How you doing? How you doing?
She knows it's Pop Dad,
How
I believe.
you doing, gorgeous?
She doesn't really freak out for much.
Oh, I see that. You
What's
have a
that?
fantastic baby.
Yeah, she's a happy gal.
Please introduce Batman. Batman, you put that on the wrong side there.
Did I really? Wrong
Yes,
side.
there we go,
Wrong
Batman.
side. There we go.
Make
This
some-
is Ravenna. Say hi, Ravenna. Hi, Ravenna. Hello.
She's a
And this
ham.
is Yvonne Smith, our future
Hi.
real estate agent.
Well, it's Weidel, but yes. this is
Weidel, yeah, I
Yvonne
forgot
Weidel.
about that.
Yeah, it happens to the best of
Vaughn,
us.
welcome to the show. I believe she's pursuing a career in real estate. It
Yes.
may be one of the most successful Richmond market agents waiting to
Oh my
happen here.
gosh.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
I've heard this multiple times from Batman.
Yeah, I have my test finally scheduled.
Yay.
Congratulations.
The way life is, the move took way longer than expected and more time than expected. In addition
Hello,
to just
how you
like
doing, gorgeous?
babies
How
and
you doing,
traveling.
gorgeous?
Yes,
How
you're a
you
mom.
doing? I know.
Yes,
I
Yeah,
you have
so-
a baby.
Hello.
I
They're quite time consuming. Yes.
and I just didn't want to take a test if I wasn't, unlike my high school years, I didn't want to take a test if I wasn't studied for it. So
Sorry.
now we have a little bit more time to study.
Batman says you're going to ace the test.
Oh boy.
Oh, don't put that pressure on.
Yeah. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm really good at doing like deductive reasoning.
Oh,
and
that's
eliminating-
important.
Yeah, eliminating some. As a fourth grade, as an elementary
I'm
school
sorry.
teacher,
I'm
you
playing.
learn how to like
Solve
teach
stuff.
to the test a bit.
Yeah.
You know, like SOLs, right? Like
Yeah.
you kind of have to learn how to slash the trash. That's the lingo.
Slash
so
the trash, I
you
like that.
learn how to slash the trash, you become a decent test taker.
So I was actually talking about you, or Keith was talking about you. We got to keep our schizophrenia going.
Oh,
here.
are we in third person?
Third
We are
person.
in character.
Character.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Great
Character,
character
yes.
here. So Keith was talking to people over the weekend at an open house, and it's interesting. He just read a report that most new agents coming into the business right now all have master's degree. It's becoming a really
Career change.
career.
Career
Well, no,
change.
they're not career changing. They're literally coming out of universities directly into the business. It's the largest growth of real estate agents. Can you believe that, Ravenna? Is that unbelievable?
What are you most excited about it? Holly Foster and Henrico says, what a nice treat to get to see Keith's
Hello.
daughter and granddaughter.
Hello.
This is,
Hello.
multiple people are saying this right now. This is Keith's daughter and granddaughter on Real Talk with Keith Smith over here. Folks are asking what you're most excited about real estate. Helping people.
Yes, and I have just realized through being a mom, and I love my job as being a mom, that I really miss connecting and impacting. Part of being a teacher is that you just impact so many people's lives kind of like inherently just because you hang out with them for 40 hours a day. So I've missed kind of like having that, just being able to talk and shape and help
she cool?
people the way I want to.
Hello.
She's
hello.
adorable.
Hello.
Yeah, she's a
Hello.
happy-
Did we have a nap this morning?
in the car.
Oh, there you go. That makes
she's
a difference.
adorable. Hello.
We just-
hello.
That makes the difference.
But-
Our son would love you.
yeah.
Our son
No,
would love you.
keep your kid away from
How,
me.
how old is your daughter?
She is 9 months. She'll be 10 months in November.
Our son just turned 11 months. He would love you. Hello, you're adorable.
So you.
How about this question? Is she getting adult conversation as a mom? That's what I struggle with the most. That's coming from Kelsey, who's watching in Lynchburg.
Yeah, so that is like the idea of adult conversation isn't something I kind of understood until we left Seattle. In Seattle, I had my upstairs neighbor who I would talk to on I call it the Yvonne special. It's like when you ask how your day is and you get 30 minutes of chatting forced upon you.
Jeez, I wonder where you got that from.
Yes. So,
Well, no, forced upon her.
No.
No,
me.
no, no.
Oh,
I-
you
no,
forced.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay.
So-
Keith does do that.
Yeah.
Keith lingers.
It's probably the Smith special. I think
Yeah.
we could extrapolate. But so I had my upstairs neighbor. I had a group of moms that I would see all of the time. I had like walking. I just had a lot of support within walking distance.
Uh-huh.
All of who were in similar ages or who I was friends with before becoming a mother. And so that I didn't understand, like, oh, well, I haven't talked to an adult all day. And then while Richmond is not isolated, the friend group just isn't there quite
Sure.
yet.
It'll be
So,
there, though.
Yes, and I also FaceTime a lot of my family and friends all the time. So I get adult conversations, but it does feel significantly harder now that I don't have as many walking friends because driving is always just such a to-do.
But she sleeps in the car.
she sleeps. I mean, you know,
Our youngest does not.
yeah, I feel
Very fortunate.
so lucky because Ravenna is really just chill. Like she really just kind of goes with the flow, and I think part of that is like having a partner who is working.
Dr. Houston is chill?
He is, yes, she's definitely Houston's personality, but
Look at you.
having a partner who is
Who is that?
working a lot requires like
girl.
wherever I go,
Dun,
she
dun, dun,
goes.
dun,
There you go.
So she's kind of always had to go with the flow.
Batman gets excited when he sees.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a very
But
good
that's
question.
a good question. You know, I think a lot of mothers and caregivers really struggle with like the idea of losing their own self.
Their identity.
Yeah, and like it's tough because I love Ravenna with my whole heart, but there is a very real aspect of your whole world shifts immediately. And it's very exciting, and if you're lucky, you get sleep, which helps. But you know, it is just really tough because I feel like society also doesn't want you to say like, oh, I miss my old life. I don't.
I think that's fair to say, though.
Yeah.
So let's
You
go.
can be a phenomenal mom and like the best
And
mom
still
ever
be
and still
mourning
be
your-
like, 100%.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think that's something that isn't often talked about, and I hear this question all the time, like, oh, isn't it so hard to envision your life before Ravenna? And of course it is, but at the same time, like, you can still grieve and miss who you
Independence,
were.
happy
Yeah.
hour,
Yeah,
hikes,
yeah, like
working
all
out.
all of that is, and I'm so privileged that I still do a lot of that in my day to day. So it maybe doesn't feel so tough, but I think it's kind of this unspoken silence that a lot of main caregivers feel like they're not allowed to admit that they kind of miss or long.
And we should
for.
change that stigma right now.
Yeah.
Empower all feelings, and it's not a zero-sum game in 2023 anymore. How about this question that's come in the feed? This one right here is a very good one from Monica. Is she down to one nap?
Yeah, so a part of the like she goes with the flow. Her nap and just day schedule is pretty chill. So when we're on vacation, she just naps when she can. But yes, this most recent trip, we kind of dropped a nap, and she's
Ooh.
got two. They're two shorter naps, but every once in a while we'll get one longer nap early in the day. So she's never been a true like at 9 o'clock. She's always asleep. We kind of just intuitively put her down. And we never really had 3 naps. That last nap was always just like a
Ooh, we got another
snooze.
tooth.
Yeah, we got so many teeth.
So I want to get this back to real estate while I've
There's
got
more
you here.
mom questions.
Okay, go ahead with the mom
Okay.
questions. Go ahead
The
with
moms
mom.
are coming out. I love it right here on the
Yeah.
show.
Go
This
ahead.
question, is she weaning off the
I'm-
bottle
I'm-
and into big girl food?
Oh yeah, so I should probably preface this. The way I manage the unknown or like try to control situations is I like deep dive into data, and my parents will laugh because everything's according to the data or according to the reading.
Well, Keith likes data.
Sounds
too.
like my better half.
So I read while I was pregnant with Bug, and still now, I've probably read about like 20 books.
Books, wow.
And I'm also even more lucky that they are all recommended to me by physicians.
Oh, her husband's a physician.
And he actually isn't the one recommending the books. He's
Oh.
he's just
Going
like,
with the flow.
yeah.
I like Houston.
But I have a lot
don't
of
know him,
friends
but-
who have a lot of knowledge. So I'm prefacing this because I have a lot of knowledge, and whatever works best for your family is great. So we did baby-led weaning starting at 4 months.
Dang.
Yeah, that's what the pediatrician. She had teeth. She had teeth. She was very interested in our food. So she is now really down to just like 2 big feeds a day as far as like formula or breast milk, and the rest you cannot keep food away from this girl.
That's
Like,
awesome.
She loves
Loves
it
to
all.
eat.
Grapes, blueberries,
Yep.
strawberries, raspberries,
Yep, she loves it all. Hamburgers, chicken, like
fries,
Yep.
Ritz crackers,
Yep, Thai food.
Thai food.
Oh,
She
yeah,
does
she's
spicy. She loves spicy.
Get out of town.
There's truly nothing. The only thing that we were like, not really about was sardines.
Sardines. I'm not
And I
about
think
sardines either,
I think
man.
that I love sardines.
It's the weirdest thing ever.
So salty.
I think that, whoa, I think that it's because they had bones in them. So she's a big eater, which, it's a lot it's easy to be the type of parent you want to be.
I'm
when
not
you
crying,
don't have-
folks. I'm sweating.
When you don't have so many worries. Like, she's always eaten, she's always been very healthy. It's easy to be, you know.
She is absolutely perfect.
Thank you. She's a happy babe.
But I do want to get to real estate,
Oh.
right? Because Batman is
Tired.
trying to fight housing affordability here today.
Ooh, that seems
So you just recently bought, right? We had a conversation about a home that went on the market right around the corner from you. If you didn't buy to, 6 months ago or however many months ago, Batman's cape is all screwed.
I think it was March to April, if memory serves correct.
Yes.
And when did you move in?
Closing was in June, and we moved in July.
So under contract, what, April?
Yeah.
But do you remember the conversation Keith was having with you guys? Because Batman and Robin has been talking about, now is always the right time to buy.
Yes.
So if you guys didn't buy now and you were in now, obviously it'll cost you more money, it'd be more things. But how do you think the process would go through now? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So again, I will preface it that like if you feel like you can financially purchase as soon as possible, then that's up to you. If it feels like a stretch and you can't, then don't push it. But Hughes and I were just having this conversation yesterday. There's a home behind our house that is going for a lot of money, and with the interest rate and all that jazz, we were like, holy cow. We were team, let's wait for a year. That's mommy's.
And what did
And
Keith
rent.
do?
We were team, let's wait for a year and rent. Coming out of residency, a little cash poor, and we wanted to save money through renting and then have a bit more of a down payment. But what ended up happening was
Someone persuaded you.
Pop Dad was like, no, that's not the plan. You're going to end up spending just as much. And I didn't think that that was correct. You don't want to hear that information when that's not what you want to do. Long story short, Houston and I were chatting. If we would have waited, our loan would have been significantly more expensive just because of the interest rates. In addition to, we would have spent X, Y, and Z.
Buttload and rent.
X, Y, and Z in rent, and then while trying to squirrel away money for a down payment, I think it just would have either barely broken even with the more expensive house costs and
And then would have lost a year of equity.
yeah, and we'd be paying rent instead of paying a mortgage. So, there's all of that, in addition to the idea of like moving, unpacking, packing, and moving. All seems
So
pretty
overall,
terrible.
you're glad that you did it.
Yeah, but also, we were in the position where we could do it. We were in the position where we could pick the lesser of two evils. We could either decide to purchase a home with very little down payment, and thankfully that worked out for us, or the worst outcome would be to rent and have to move and then have to purchase in a more expensive time frame.
How about this one from Michelle Smith watching? I believe your guess is either a Gen Z or a very young millennial. I'm in a similar boat. My partner and I are considering buying our home, and we're absolutely stung and a bit demoralized with where rates are right now, and we're at the exact crossroads of renting or buying. Any perspective she could offer would be appreciated, and I can appreciate the fact that rates when she bought are not where rates are now. It's a great comment right there.
Yeah, it sucks. Telling people to buy now when they can't buy now is a non-existent compliment or comment. You can't make it work. Sometimes the numbers don't work. And it's really tough because, of course, the best time to buy is always, now. And you can try to play the market. It just unfortunately wouldn't have worked out for us. So I think it's really tough because you want to get out of this renting cycle. Renting is not a fun feeling, throwing money out of the window. There are few and far between perks. Owning is much nicer, and it's a very powerless way to feel because interest rates are so expensive, and you're trying to make the best choice you got, and sometimes your best choice is that you cannot purchase right now and hope that things are not going to just get worse.
So,
I don't know if I answered that
I
question.
think you
It's
did.
just sometimes,
I think you did.
so let me try it a different way. Of course, Keith's your father, but having a trusted advisor,
Yes.
was that helpful
Yes.
to help navigate? So that would be my,
Yeah.
You know.
I think that is the thing to say. If you have an agent or a lender or somebody who knows a little bit about what's going on, just
lot.
just a conversation with them might help you, or at least be able to make your pro and con list a little bit more strong or well informed.
But
Guidance, clarity.
But what exactly
Strategy.
right? So we've had this, Keith and you guys have had this conversation before. You thought you knew how the process was going to go.
Yeah.
Right. You are highly educated people. You're watching the news and stuff like that. But it was helpful to have somebody help
Yes.
guide you through that.
It is helpful. I just also understand with the person who was commenting that it can feel really frustrating.
Oh, without doubt.
Yeah,
and
that's what Michelle was saying.
And a great place to voice those frustrations might be with a trusted advisor who can be yeah, that sucks, and this is what we're thinking is going to happen in the next.
But here's
6
your
months.
option.
She follows up by saying,
Yes.
the female perspective is valuable for this show. Bring her back. We've been trying.
Yes.
We've been trying.
I think it's just
We have a double female
Yeah.
perspective
Yes,
here.
you do. At least for Houston and I, and everybody's experience is so different. But it did just feel like we were stuck between a rock and a hard place. We were
You had no options.
We were not as financially secure as we would like to have been, or I guess you have dreamt to have been when you were purchasing a home. We had just rented for 4 years that I can't even tell you how much we rented and our waste and rent.
Oh, it was a few $1,000s a month, right?
Yeah, it was just insane. And so you're just feeling helpless. So I guess who did help me feel not helpless, and it's probably not even at the forefront because it was just so not even a second thought, was talking to my dad.
Pop Dad.
Yeah, I was talking to my dad, and he was
Why
right.
are you pointing to Batman?
He was right. Pop Dad out there somewhere. He was.
Just pop that at the bar again.
Yes. Yeah, he's reading over some data. But, he was, at the end of the day, right?
Live
It's
stuff.
okay. That's Pop Dads. That's not the networks. That's
But
okay.
sometimes, what
But speaking of the
advisors-
network,
I see.
Sometimes what advisors are going to tell you isn't going to be what you want to hear. And all you can do is gather your information and make the best possible choice for your given circumstances. But gathering good information, back to how I parent, gathering good information is, whatever you deem as good, is important.
it's good information, and then having the trusted advisor who can explain that information to you in the way that you understand it, right?
Yeah.
And to get through that. But Batman looked at his Bat watch, or his Dick Tracy watch, and
Batman has a Dick Tracy watch? Yeah.
I mean, does
I'll
any,
take it. That's a Dick Tracy
that
watch.
is
Yeah.
that is
That's
so
well said.
that is
Well
so
said.
much a Dick Tracy watch. But
How about some closing thoughts for everybody on set?
yeah,
Let's
Yvonne,
go with our esteemed guest from
Yeah.
Richmond who made the trip down 64.
Closing
That's why we're
thoughts
going
on-
longer today.
Closing thoughts on what?
On anything.
on anything.
You could pontificate on anything you want.
That's a big word.
Can I have a second?
Sure,
I
Batman.
need thinking.
Batman is good
Batman-
with filling.
Bat-
Batman is
Batman-
good with filling.
Batman is having fun with
So is Robin.
with the grandchild on that stuff. But look, who's that? He's making fun. So thank you, everybody. Look, thank you to Alfred. This is the 4th year in a row
Thank you, Alfred.
that we all got dressed up in spandex. We love doing this. We love having fun.
Creepily, maybe too much.
We probably
Creepily maybe
we
too
probably have too much fun, but hopefully people take away stuff from
Yeah.
the show,
100%,
and
100%
hopefully we
back.
make things better. This young lady to my right will be coming on regularly. We got to negotiate with Gigi Mom to watch little
She's
one
getting a
here.
real estate license.
She's getting a real estate license.
It's big time.
But
I love it.
Look,
So excited about
anybody
this.
out there, if particularly, I just want to reference back to I can't remember the name of the folks
Michelle.
that are
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah.
You know,
Which one? Monica Michelle?
Reach out. Let me buy you a cup of coffee. We'll walk you through it. We'll even bring Yvonne along so Yvonne can talk about it from.
This is a great comment
from a
from Michael.
millennial's perspective.
Michael says one day maybe the conversation can change from affordable housing to providing people with opportunities so they can afford a home. Very well said.
I agree. That's
Yeah.
the reason I don't use the word affordable housing. I use the word housing affordability. But look, there are options out there. Let's help. There's some really good folks on the feed that do this for a living. Let them help you.
Ricardo Cruz Duran, we
Hey,
can't
Ricardo.
wait for you to come on the program. The show is yours.
I guess as far as housing affordability or just in general, everybody deserves a space that is their own, that they can feel proud of and feel safe in and raise their children in, or dogs, families. And so that to me is, there's a lot of things about my family that allow me to feel prideful of our family, or proud. And my dad's continuous fight for people to have access to a house, like something that just seems so basic. I guess as a child growing up, I never knew that people didn't have homes, you know.
Right.
Feels really good and important. In addition to,
And
and if you are if you're in a really frustrating spot, I feel like they're broken records, because like talk to an advisor, but like if you can find somebody who is genuinely looking to help others and you talk to them, they can give you some form of next steps, whether that's like hold tight, this sucks, or that's, I could foresee you living in this area, or, you actually are in a better position than you might think you are. And even if you want to get more than one perspective, so talk to multiple people and see how they feel.
This is
Second opinion,
This is a
usually.
fantastic comment for you. Holly Foster, Queen of Henrico. Tell Yvonne to get in touch with me, and I'll take her out to dinner at my favorite Italian restaurant in Richmond. Your sweet baby is welcome to join us as well. Holly Foster watches our programming often, gave Judah and I a box of Red Vine candies. I met her at the
Yum.
Boar's Head last week. You were so kind. This is just a fantastic
Thank you.
program.
There you go, Mom.
Alfred, thank you.
got it.
Ravanna, thank you. Yvonne, thank you.
Ravenna, what do you got? Can you say more?
More. Can you do more?
You want more?
You want more?
Good, she did
She
it.
wants more airtime like Pop Dad.
You did it.
Yeah, but we can't.
No, we can't. We really,
How
because
about
it would not be
Ravenna,
fair to
you want
Alfred.
some water?
Would not be fair to Alfred.
So thank you, everybody. We'll
Water?
we might have be in different costumes for next year.
Robin is sweating profusely as well.
Oh,
This is Real Talk with Keith Smith. The show is archived at
The hat.
realtalkwithkeithsmith.com.
Okay.
Contact a trusted advisor. And ladies and gentlemen, Keith Smith epitomizes trusted advisor. For Batman, for Alfred, my name is Robin. Thank
So
you kindly
big.
for joining us.
Got
So
it.
long, everybody. Excellent show, my
We got 'em.
friends.
Yeah.
Tell us when we're off air. I don't know if the cameras are off.
Well, we've got a diaper.
Thank you, everybody.
Just about. Nah, we're off.
Sprinting to the bathroom. Is that what